Hi, welcome to part 3 of the Filmora for Beginners tutorial. My name is Dennis, and in this video, we're going to look at clip properties as well as keyframes in Filmora. Let's jump right in. I do have a video here. This is the video from part 2 of our video series. I'll import it onto the timeline. So I want us to take a look at the right panel over here. And we can see by default when you highlight a clip, it goes to video. Under video, we have basic. Under basic, we have transform. And when you look at transform, on the right, there is a diamond shape. This diamond shape is for keyframes. We'll take a look at that later. But when you go down below, there is a scale property. Now, this means that the video on the timeline can be scaled on the X and Y axis. So when I change this, you can see we've scaled it to 71%, and we can go back and scale it more. Now, when you change the scale properties, there's an icon that appears over here. This icon allows you to revert to the original dimensions. So I'll click that and it goes back to 100. We also have the position, which you can also manipulate using keyframes. We have a path curve. You can also rotate the clip. Now, we do have the ability to flip a video. For example, we can flip this video. That is flipping it horizontally. We can flip it vertically. And we can also flip it at an angle. This is 90 degrees. This is clockwise. This is counterclockwise. And anything you change, the restore button always appears. We have more properties down here, but I'm planning on making individual videos for these other properties. So stay tuned for that and subscribe if you haven't. Next, we have masks. Now, masking is putting a video inside of a shape or an object. For example, if I click this circle, it creates a circle and our video is inserted inside of that circle, or rather this is an oval. I can also choose a rectangle and we can do that. So you can choose this and manipulate this. I'll create a different video for this, and there are also other properties, transform properties and whatnot. You can also invert the mask. That's possible. So we'll take a look at this in another video. Next, we have AI tools. Under AI tools, we have the chroma key. Chroma key is used for removing background. If, for example, you have a green screen or something, you can do that. We have an AI portrait cutout. This looks for the portrait of oneself in a video, for example, the one we have. And we also have smart cutouts. You can use smart cutout to remove backgrounds as well. These are mostly AI features, and we'll take a look at them individually. We also have an AI object remover, motion tracking, planar tracking. Now, planar tracking, I have done a video on that. I'll link it in the description. We also have stabilization, video denoise, AI video enhancer, and a lot of AI tools. Under animation, we have different animations that you can use to manipulate a clip. So I'm going to drag this onto the timeline, and I want you to take a look at our video here. We have two diamond shapes that were introduced. This means that keyframes were introduced onto our clip and they are used to change the states of the video. We'll take a look at keyframes in a bit. When you go to the next tab after video, there's audio. Now, under this panel, we can manipulate the audio on our video. For example, as you can see on the timeline, let me try to fit this. The audio is barely visible. So that means our audio has a very low volume. If I was to play this back, my name is Dennis. Our audio is barely visible. So how do we go about this? I'll go to the first option that we have under adjustment. We have the option for auto normalization. Normalization is usually matching the quieter parts of the video to the louder parts of the video so that we have a consistent target level of audio. Now, if I turn this on, our audio has been raised a bit, as you can see. And when we play this back, welcome. My name is Dennis. So it hits about -6 decibels. So it matches the quieter parts to the louder parts so that your audio is uniform. Next, we have audio channels whereby we have a couple of options. We have copy left to right, copy right to left, and flip left and right. Depending on how you recorded your audio, At times you may need to use this option so that you can match the left and the right channel together. We also have a couple of options whereby you can balance your audio, you can fade in your audio, fade out your audio, play around with the pitch and audio ducking. We also have a couple of options to denoise, to de-reverb. We have wind removal, hum removal. You can manipulate this depending on your audio. For now, we're concentrating on the video. We'll take a look at these other ones some other time. Next, we have color. Under color, we have a couple of presets whereby you can manipulate your video to give it a certain look that you're looking for, depending on what you need. And we also have the ability to import alert. Now, I do have a different video that I'm going to import here. Let me import it real quick. So I just imported another clip. Now, this clip was shot using a log profile. It is in dlog-m. And I do have alert to convert dlog-m to rec 709. I wanted to import this clip so as to illustrate how you can add alert to your video. So with the video highlighted, I'll go to color. And under basic, we have the option for alert here. I'll click on add and I'll locate where my alert is. So right here, I have my alert. It's a default conversion alert for dlog-m to rec 709. I'll just click open and automatically my alert is applied. Now, we have the ability to play around with the strength of the alert depending on the look that you're going for. Down below, we have an AI color palette. We have a ton of AI features. Now, we do also have color. Depending on how you want your video to look, you can manipulate, say, I want this to feel warmer. I can increase the temperature. I can maybe play around with the saturation, vibrance. This depends on the look that you're going for your video. We have the ability to manipulate all that. We have HSL curves. These are just hue, saturation, and luminance. These are also used to manipulate your video depending on what you're going for. We also have curves over here. Now, this is a bit more technical. It needs one to be familiar with color grading and color correcting. So if you're familiar with that, there is also that capability in Filmora. Lastly, we have speed. Under speed, we have the options for uniform speed and speed ramping. Under uniform speed, you can choose to increase the speed of your video. Say maybe someone is talking too slow, or just it depends on your needs. You have the ability to increase or decrease. And as you can see, there is a purple banner that comes on top of the video in the timeline to show you that speed has been changed. I'll just revert back. Under speed ramping, now this is whereby you can start a video slowly, then it goes fast, then it ends slowly, depending on maybe what you need. For example, the bullet time, this means that a video starts normally, slows down, and then proceeds normally. The jumper means that starts normally, then it goes fast, then it goes back to normal. These are different speeding techniques that you can use depending on the different, or rather the specific clip and your needs as well. Now, under keyframes, we can change the scale. So maybe, for example, if you're doing a zoom in, you can use keyframes to perform a zoom in on a video. For example, I'll use the clip that I just imported right here and say I want to zoom in from this point up to around maybe here. So I'll go to the specific point. Let me zoom in on the timeline. I'll go to the specific point on the timeline whereby I want my zoom to start. And I'll use the transform properties. So I will add a keyframe. As you can see, when I go there, it says delete keyframes. But if there was no keyframes, when I hover it, it says add a keyframe. So I'll add a keyframe. I'll go to my desired end. Say I want it to end around, just maybe around there. It's enough. So I will go and zoom in using the scale property and say just around there, just like that. So if we play this back, let's just play back the clip. our clip is zoomed in. And when I go back to our original starting point, you can look at the properties, or rather the number under the scale property. So when you look at this, they're increasing. So that means our video is zooming in as we go. This is our end keyframe. This is our start keyframe. So basically, you use keyframes to manipulate a video how you need. You can use keyframes in different use cases, even color. Say, for example, we want to, let's add a color keyframe. Let's head on over to color and let's play around with saturation. So I'll add a keyframe there for saturation. And when we're getting there, I will go black and white. So please take a note of how the video goes. You see, so this means that when we added the original, this is where our starting keyframe is. That is for the color, for the saturation. And this is our end keyframe. When I started here, our saturation is at 14. But as we go, we are reducing, or rather removing saturation all the way up to minus 100. And that's why we have a black and white video. So keyframes are used in manipulating videos in very many use cases and aspects as well. So let me show you an example of using keyframes in audio manipulation. Say, for example, I'll go back to where we started and I'll just come to the audio tab and say volume. I'll add a keyframe there and let's hover all the way to the end and reduce our volume all the way. So as you can see, this is sort of a fade out for audio. So when you play this back, as you can see, there's a ramp. There's a ramp showing that we've manipulated the audio. You can also maybe add another keyframe. So let me undo that. We can add a keyframe to that and say, let's do minus that, and then at the end we go back to where it was. So we'll start with audio being audible, then it dips, and then it's back to being audible. So we use keyframes to manipulate different aspects of videos and audios as well. Well, there you have it. That's a quick video on clip properties in Filmora, as well as how to use keyframes to manipulate your audio and your video as well. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.